You ever have a day where you know you're about to become someone's worst memory? Yeah, that happened to me and my wife, Deborah, on a dusty Georgia back road, one sticky afternoon, blue lights flashing behind us, two deputies strutting up like they just won the lottery. I had my hands at 10 and 2, left turn signal still ticking away because old habits die hard when you're a black man in the South, especially when you're old enough to remember when a traffic stop could go 100 ways, and most of them weren't good. Deborah's voice was steady, almost too calm, when she asked, "Why'd they stop us?" I didn't blink. Claimed a broken tail light. We both knew that was a lie before I even finished the sentence. The pines along Highway 84 threw these long, jittery shadows across the hood, and I could see the taller deputy's reflection in a mirror-white guy, maybe late 30s, looking like he ironed his buzz cut. "License, registration, step out of the vehicle, sir," he said flat as a plank. Let me back up. SECI built courthouses for a living, spent half my years either in a courtroom or building one. I wasn't about to let two cocky deputies run the same old script. So I asked, "Is there a reason I need to step out?" That made him chew his jaw like he had something tough stuck in his teeth. "You got a problem following a lawful order?" I just held his gaze. "You said it was a tail light." That only annoyed him more. Meanwhile, his partner, shorter, stocky, had come around Deborah's side. "Ma'am, keep your hands where I can see them." Deborah didn't even flinch, seen scarier faces from the bench, and that's saying something. Next thing I know, I'm outside, hands on the hood, getting patted down like I might be hiding a bazooka in my slacks. The tall one's name was Riggins, and he kept looking for anger, panic, anything that would let him feel big. Instead, he got calm questions. "You traveling through for what purpose?" he asked. "Coming back from seeing family," I replied. "Where at?" "Jackson." He snorted. "Long drive. You pack anything you shouldn't be." That's when I told him straight, "I'm a retired attorney. I know my rights, sir. You have no probable cause to search." And just like that, I saw the mood change. He muttered something about smart mouth old man and should have stayed home, but I wasn't going anywhere. Deborah was asked out of the car, too graceful as ever. They dug through our bags, opened the trunk, found nothing. 10 minutes later, Riggins came back with a citation for a busted taillight. I took it, already thinking about court dates. They strolled off, laughing like they just pulled off something clever. We didn't say a word for miles, just watched the highway unspool ahead. Deborah finally broke the silence. "They thought we'd be scared." I nodded. "They don't know who we are." She raised an eyebrow. "You wrote their badge numbers?" I tapped my jacket. "Every word, every detail." She smiled. "Good. Let's remind them." What those deputies didn't know was that they just handed a ticket to the wrong man. By the time they figured it out, the court date was already set. Back at the station, Deputy Riggins bragged about us to Officer Nash, who was busy scrolling through his phone. Man kept talking law like he's some Harvard professor. Driving a 10-year-old Buick, don't give me that civil rights crap. They had no clue I'd recorded the whole encounter not on a phone, but in my leather-bound notebook. Handwritten, time-stamped, just like I'd done my whole career. At home in Tallahassee, I sat flipping through the notebook, Deborah by the window. "You think you're smarter than me?" she asked, a little stunned. "That's the second time he said it," I replied. First when I asked about the search, second when he thought I looked nervous. She nodded, then headed for her old filing cabinet and pulled out her judge's nameplate. She set it on the desk like putting a badge on the table before a fight. "Let's do it right. Facts, witnesses, motions, not emotion." I smiled. Wouldn't have it any other way. Meanwhile, back in Georgia, Nash was outside the sheriff's office. "Think that guy's going to complain?" he asked Riggins. Riggins laughed. "Let him. Nobody listens to some retiree with a chip on his shoulder." Nash didn't look so sure. He'd seen men like me before, not loud, just quietly dangerous, the type who take you apart with paperwork and patience. What they didn't know was that my complaint was already written. A few days later, they got letters from the United States District Court, and you could feel the panic from 3 states away. "Clarence goddamn Dupree," Riggins said, voice cracking. Retired civil rights attorney, Nash whispered, eyes wide. "We're screwed." Back home, Deborah and I turned our dining table into a legal war room. Filed the complaint under Section 1983. I told her, violation of our 4th and 14th Amendment rights, seeking civil damages and an injunction on the sheriff's stop policy. Deborah read through the docs with that razor gaze. You cite Warren v. United States? Of course. Rosalind, an old friend from the state office, dropped off internal affairs files redacted but damning enough. Turns out Riggins had been suspended before for excessive force. Nash had a warning for discriminatory remarks. Pattern of conduct, Rosalind said. Subpoena the dash cam. Deborah added. They'll claim it glitched, make them prove it. Already submitted. Also flag the gas station security camera. At the very least, it timestamps our position and behavior. Rosalind whistled. You're coming at them from every angle. I leaned back, tired. Not just for us, for everyone who never got the chance. That night, Deborah and I sat on the porch silent. You want revenge? She asked. No, I said. I want accountability. Sheriff Creedy, 26 years in law enforcement, wasn't laughing when the lawsuit landed on his desk. He called both deputies in. You two better get a damn good lawyer and keep your mouth shut. But by the time the hearing came, this was about more than just a traffic stop. The courthouse was packed black elders, students, off-duty officers, reporters. Deborah wore her old judge's briefcase. I wore the same tie from my last big case. All eyes on us. Opening arguments, procedural as they come. The county's lawyer called it routine. When my turn came, I stood up. My wife and I were pulled over without cause, searched without reason, and insulted without consequence. This isn't just inconvenience. It's violation chipping away at dignity until folks stop asking questions. The judge, Marcia Delano, listened close. Officers acted like it wouldn't matter who we were. That's the problem. They assumed we were powerless. I let the evidence do the rest. We had footage from the gas station showing both taillights working. Dispatch records no probable cause, no traffic violation until after the stop. Internal affairs fallacia pattern, not an accident. Third day, standing room only. I called Riggins to the stand. Which taillight was broken? The left one, he said. I put up the photo, both working fine. Did you radio in any suspicion before the stop? No, sir. Did you call my wife nervous to justify a search? He mumbled yes. Deborah's calm voice from the gallery. That's the look of someone who finally figured out who they pulled over. Nash was next. Prior complaint for discrimination? He squirmed. Yeah. Nature of the comment? He shrugged. Don't remember. I read it aloud. People like you always look guilty. County's lawyer objected. Judge overruled. I tied it all together, showing how two men with power abused it, and how the system let them think it was normal. In closing, I told a stormy father, searched on the sidewalk coming home from work, his dignity stripped, his voice cracked. Why didn't you fight? I asked him once. Because if I did, you might never see me again. The room was silent. This case isn't about hurt feelings, it's about misuse of power. Judge Delano didn't take long. I find in favor of the plaintiffs. Both deputies suspended without pay, public apology ordered, department to pay damages. Her gavel struck, and just like that, the room exhaled. Reporters rushed us. I told them, we didn't come to make noise. We came to make a point. That night, Deborah and I sat outside, verdict letter in hand. Think they'll change? She asked. No, but someone watching might. 2 weeks later, I was teaching at Florida A&M's law school, showing future lawyers where the cracks are in the system and how to use them. A letter came in the mail. No return address. Inside, I watch what you did. I'm applying to law school. Deborah read it, looked at me, and smiled. Told you it mattered. The law isn't blind. Not real eye, it just sees what it wants, until someone makes it look harder. And sometimes, all it takes is the right person, on the right day, to remind everyone what justice is supposed to feel like. If this story means something to you, share it, talk about it. Argue about it, because silence never changed a damn thing. But stories like this, they just might.